Hey everybody, Jim here with another video for you. This is my Scream Factory Collector Editions with slipcovers and a couple of box sets. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please give me a thumbs up and a subscribe. And please leave me comments. Let me know what Scream Factory titles you have, which ones I have that you have questions about, or any kind of feedback about these videos would be really appreciated. So without further ado, let's begin. These are in alphabetical order. First off, we have the 4K Blu-ray combo of Alligator. Same artwork. There's the back. I saw this at the theater with my parents when I was a little kid. Robert Forster starred in it. He's great. Yeah, this came out in like 1980, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, cheesy movie, but I love Alligator. It's a lot of fun. Next we have Jack Shoulder's Alone in the Dark. There's the original artwork. Jack Palance, Donald Pleasance, Martin Balsam. Yeah. It's a goofy slasher movie, you know, with a twist. It's a group of slashers that break out of a nut house. But this movie's a lot of fun. 1982, this was directed by Jack Shoulder, who went on to do Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge, and The Hidden. Love The Hidden. I think The Hidden is a great movie. I'm going to talk about that in another video. Okay, next we have April Fool's Day. There's the original artwork, which I've always loved. I love the noose with the hair. And I really like this movie. Deborah Foreman, she's great. And I had a crush on her for years, and along with, I'm blanking on her name now, Amy Steele from Friday the 13th Part 2. She's like the main star of this movie. But yeah, 1986. It's a horror comedy, actually. But if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to give it away. But yeah, if you get a chance, check out April Fool's Day. It's fun. Next we have Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. This is like a fake... Oh, I didn't change the artwork around on that one, but that's okay. It's like a fake documentary about a real-life serial killer, and this is a universe where Michael Myers and Freddy Krueger are real people and stuff, but this movie is a lot of fun. The more slasher movies you've seen, the more you'll enjoy it. Because, again, it's a comedy, although it does take a horrific turn about 2/3 of the way through. But, yeah, Behind the Mask, it's for 2007. Next we have Brotherhood of the Wolf. This is a French movie by Christophe Gaines. This movie is batshit crazy, but it's a lot of fun. (2002). Next we have Brian De Palma's Carrie, based on the the Stephen King novel. Sissy Spacek, John Travolta, Nancy Allen, Piper Laurie. Piper Laurie is so scary in this movie. Yeah, 1976 Carrie came out. It's a classic. Next we have Child's Play, the original one. Tom Holland directed, who also directed Fright Night. Chris Sarandon, who was also in Fright Night. Yeah. 1988 for this one. Child's Play. we have Blu-ray, or the 4K Blu-ray combo of Child's Play 2. This one came out in 1990. And the 4K Blu-ray of Child's Play 3. I don't have the other ones. I'm not really a huge fan of the other ones, although Bride of Chucky does have some moments, but they just got too silly. So, although, you know, it's a killer dollar movie, so it's not like they were always not silly. Yeah, 1991 for this one. Next, we have another one of my movies from my childhood, Coma. Genevieve Bujold, Michael Douglas, Richard Widmark. This is a Michael Crichton movie, who also did Jurassic Park and Westworld. This is from 1978. I saw this in the theater when I was a kid. Creeped me out then, creeps me out now. Coma. Next we have Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead. This is one of the better remakes. I still prefer the original, but this is a totally different animal, so it's, you know, it's kind of like comparing apples to oranges. Out of all the running zombie movies, this one is definitely my favorite. And yeah, I was shocked how much I enjoyed this movie when I saw it at the theater, because when it was first announced, I was actually very pissed about it, because I'm not a huge fan of remakes in general, and to me, Dawn of the Dead is like holy, you know, it's something you just don't touch. But Zack Snyder and James Gunn did a great job with that movie. Speaking of great jobs with the movie, David Cronenberg's The Dead Zone, with based on Stephen King's novel, starring the incredible Christopher Walken. I think it's one of his best roles. Martin Sheen, Brooke Adams, Herbert Lom. I mean, yeah, the list goes on and on and on. But yeah, Dead Zone is one of my favorite Stephen King books and movies. 1983 for this one. And yeah, I can't say enough good things about The Dead Zone. Next we have Event Horizon. Lawrence Fishburne, Sam Neill. Science fiction, horror goodness. This one was directed by Paul Anderson, well, Paul W.S. Anderson now, who also directed the Resident Evil movies and Death Race. This is his best movie, period. It's not even close. Next we have John Carpenter's Escape from L.A., the sequel / remake of Escape from New York. I have mixed feelings about this movie. I love Kurt Russell as Snake. I mean, I'll watch him as Snake Plissken all the time. Stacy Keach is cool in this. But I love the original. This one I like. We'll leave it at that. But it's still, you know, it's an entertaining movie. I'm not trying to shit on it. It's just, I have such a deep affection for Escape from New York. So, okay, next we have, that one's out of order, but that's okay. Dreamscape. Look at the artwork on this one. That's awesome. Dennis Quaid, Kate Capshaw, Max von Sydow, Christopher Plummer, George Wendt. This is an awesome movie. It's an awesome movie. You know, Chuck Russell directed this, or wrote this rather. Joseph Rubin directed it, but Chuck Russell helped write this with a couple others, and he also co-wrote and directed Dream Warriors, and they're very similar movies where you go inside of a dream and interact and whatever, but this movie's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Again, not really a horror movie, but it does have a couple of horrific moments. Dog Soldiers. I love Dog Soldiers. I am probably going to upgrade this one because the transfer on this isn't very good. But I still love this movie. It is so much fun. Neil Marshall, who directed the Descent and lots of Game of Thrones and Doomsday. But yeah, 2002. Sorry about the shaky cam, guys. Yeah, love Dog Soldiers. Next we have Exorcist 3. William Peter Blatty directed, who wrote the original. This is based on his book Legion. George C. Scott. Jason Miller makes a small appearance, but Brad Dourif is just incredible in this movie. And this movie definitely has one of the greatest jump scares in history. I saw this at the theater, and people who have seen this movie, they know the moment I'm talking about. There it is right there. I literally jumped out of my chair. Okay, next we got Stuart Gordon's follow-up to Reanimator, another H.P. Lovecraft movie, From Beyond. I love From Beyond. This was another one I was lucky enough to see theatrically. It is so much fun. And like Reanimator, it stars Jeffrey Combs and Barbara Crampton, and the two of them are awesome. Barbara Crampton is absolutely beautiful in this movie. Ken Foray from the original Dawn of the Dead is in this, 1986. I know that Vinegar Syndrome did a 4K of this, but either way, if you get a chance to see From Beyond, please do. It's a great movie. It's a lot of fun. Okay, next we got Eli Roth's cannibal movie, The Green Inferno. This movie's okay. I did like the moment where the stoners tried to trick the natives with weed, and all it did was give them the munchies. That was pretty damn funny. 2013. This is one of the newer ones from the Scream Factory line that I've got. I tend to go towards the older movies, but yeah, this movie's solid. Next we have Hell Night with Linda Blair. This movie's not that great. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's a slow burn, that's for sure. But yeah, 1981. It's another one of those movies I remember when I was a kid. But I got that one at a really good price. So, speaking of movies from when I was a kid, but this is a great movie. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Donald Sutherland, Jeff Goldblum, Leonard Nimoy, Brooke Adams, Nancy Cartwright. I mean, I saw this movie theatrically in 1978 when I was 11 years old, and it fried my brain. It just messed me up beyond belief, especially that ending. I know Kino's got a new version of this out. This version's long out of print, but yeah, I love Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It's one of the best remakes ever. Next we have the 1976 version of King Kong with Jeff Bridges and Jessica Lange and Charles Grodin. This was another movie from my childhood. I saw this at the theater when it came out. It was a big deal when this movie came out. And I remember vividly the ending when Kong falls off the World Trade Center in this version and dies. You hear his heartbeat slowly slowing down until it finally stops. And oh my God, that broke me as a 9-year-old child. I cried my eyes out. Okay, next we have Lawnmower Man, Jeff Fahey. Supposedly based on a Stephen King story, but it has absolutely nothing to do with the original short story other than 2 lines of dialogue, to the point where Stephen King sued to get his name off of it and won, and has gone on record saying that he made more money off that lawsuit than any other movie deal he's ever made. 1992. He absolutely hates this movie. Most people absolutely hate this movie. I absolutely love this movie, mainly for nostalgic reasons, but yeah, it's goofy. It hasn't aged well, but you know what? I still love it. So, okay, next we have George A. Romero's Land of the Dead, his return to the zombie genre. You know, a lot of people bitch about this movie. I will never bitch about this movie because as far as I was concerned, it was Romero's return to zombiehood, and he got a studio behind it. And yeah, the unrated version is much better than the theatrical version. But you know what? I don't care. We got another Romero zombie movie theatrically. I was overjoyed when this came out, and I saw it theatrically and loved it and still do. It's not, it doesn't hold a candle to the original trilogy. I mean, I'll give you that, but it's still better than a lot. So, moving on, we have Michael Mann's Manhunter. This one is long out of print and is still going for pretty high prices on eBay with the slipcover, which I have here. And as you can see, it's flawless. But I will keep this because I love Manhunter. I saw this theatrically, and then a couple of years later when Silence of the Lambs came out, I had no idea going in that it was kind of a sequel to this. And yeah, then when Ren Dragon came out years later, which is what Manhunter's based on, I'm sorry, I still prefer Manhunter. So, okay, next we have more Stephen King goodness, Misery. Rob Reiner directed, James Caan and Kathy Bates starring. Kathy Bates won an Oscar for this, of course. And yeah, this is one of the top tier Stephen King adaptations. This is a great one. Also starring Richard Farnsworth and the late Frances Sternhagen, who just passed away about a week ago. R.I.P. She was wonderful in every movie she was ever in. And this one as well. This was from 1990. Next we have Night of the Creeps. Thrill me, you betch. Tom Atkins. Fred Decker. Yeah. Night of the Creeps is awesome. $1986. I actually just got this one recently, and I was shocked that it had a slipcover. Happy, but shocked. Okay, this is one of my newest editions, Night of the Demons 2. To be honest, I still haven't watched this yet, so I can't really tell you if it's any good or not. I've got the first Night of the Demons on my Steelbook. That's part of that video. This is from 1994. I do not own the third one. Next we have Pet Sematary 2 with Eddie Furlong and Clancy Brown. Clancy Brown is the best thing about this movie. It's weird. It doesn't hold a candle to the original. You can tell it's not based on Stephen King's story. I mean, it's just a story they made up. But 1992, and yeah, it's not one of my favorites, but you know, I do like the slipcover, and I got this extremely cheap, so I'm happy to have it. Okay, we're gonna move over here a little bit, guys. Next we have one of the best sequels of all time, Psycho 2. Saw this theatrically, and yeah, and there goes my stack. I knew that was gonna happen. But you can see I got a little bit of damage here on the slipcover. But yeah, Psycho 2 is just an incredible movie. 1983. I saw this theatrically, and it blew me away. I couldn't get over how good it was. And then we have Psycho 3, which came out a couple of years later. Anthony Perkins actually directed this one. Jeff Fahey's in this one. This one's, it's all right. It's not as good as the first two, obviously, but it's still watchable. And Jeff Fahey's fun in it, and Anthony Perkins, you know, as always, he is Norman Bates. He gives a great performance. So now, on the back of this, it says 1983, and I know that's a mistake because that's when Psycho 2 came out. This one came out in 1986. So I never noticed that until just now. Okay, moving right along, guys. Next we have, sorry, let me get that out of the way. We have Raising Cain, Brian De Palma movie, John Lithgow. This is not one of my favorite De Palma movies. Quite honestly, I found it kind of boring. But John Lithgow is great in it. He plays a guy with like 10 different personalities, and yeah, he's always good, but he's very good in this. 1987. Okay, next we have Return of the Living Dead, Dan O'Bannon's classic. Look at that artwork on that one. Sorry about the shaky cam. Just watched this again last night. 1985. This came out literally within a month or two of Day of the Dead. And we had 2 zombie movies out that summer. But yeah, this movie is so much fun. Next we have, which I feel is Wes Craven's most underrated movie, The Serpent and the Rainbow. Look at the artwork on that one. That's great. Bill Pullman in this, and this is one of the creepiest movies ever in my eyes. It's just, it kind of falls apart at the very end, but it's still a great movie. 1987. Bill Pullman, this is probably his best performance in this movie. He's phenomenal in it. More Wes Craven goodness, depending on your point of view, is Shocker. No more Mr. Nice Guy. You know what? I love Shocker. It's a goofy movie. It's supposed to be goofy, you know. And the soundtrack is phenomenal. You know, if you're a metalhead. But yeah, I remember seeing this theatrically, 1989. Loved it from day one. Had the soundtrack. Yeah, I love Shocker. Okay, we got a couple more here, guys. Next we have 4K Blu-ray combo of The Sword and the Sorcerer. It's another one from 1982. I remember this as a kid. Came out the same summer as Conan the Barbarian and the Beastmaster. And nothing will ever touch Conan. I mean, Conan is one of my favorite movies of all time. But I was extremely happy when Scream released this. I got the 4K because, again, it's the only way I can get the Blu-ray, but I am so happy to own this. I love Sword and Sorcerer. Okay, next we have The Strangers. Liv Tyler, Scott Speedman. Strangers is a very, very, very scary, creepy movie. 2007, 2008, something like that. 2007. I'm not a huge fan of the home invasion genre. This one's probably the best of that genre. It's really creepy and really good. Speaking of really good, Slither, James Gunn. I mean, look at that artwork. That's great. This movie is so much fun. It's just so much fun. You know, Nathan Fillion, Elizabeth Banks, Greg Henry, Michael Rooker, they're all great. You know, 2006. This movie deserves more love than it gets. I mean, it's gotten love through the years, but at the time it was a big flop. And yeah, Slither's a lot of fun. Okay, guys, we're almost done here. Next we have Stephen King's Sleepwalkers, directed by Mick Garris. This is a batshit crazy movie. I remember remember seeing this at the theater and going, what the hell am I watching? But it is entertaining. Next we have Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight. I mentioned this earlier. This is my favorite Tales from the Crypt movie. The cast is absolutely stacked. Ernest Dickinson directed this. He is a very, very underrated director, in my opinion. He's directed some great movies. And he was the cinematographer on a lot of Spike Lee's great movies. This is from 1985. Yeah, I can't say enough about Demon Knight. It is so much fun. Billy Zane gives one of the craziest, over-the-top performances in the world, but you could tell he's loving every moment of it. Okay, next we have another anthology film, Tales from the Dark Side, the movie. I really, really like this movie. It's based on the old TV show. George Romero and Stephen King were involved in this. Stephen King, one of the stories, The Cat from Hell, is based on one of his short stories. This is from 1990, I believe. Yeah, 1990. Christian Slater, a bunch of people in this. Deborah Harry from Blonde. But yeah, Tales from the Dark Side's great. Okay, and last but certainly not least on my collector's editions with the slipcovers is John Carpenter's masterpiece, The Thing. This is without a doubt my favorite Carpenter movie. I've seen The Thing 100 times at least, and it never gets old. This version is great. It's got so much extra content. 1982, again, that was like, in my eyes, 1982 was probably the best summer ever for a young genre fan. There were so many great movies that summer. But that's The Thing. Okay, next we have a couple of hardbacks for you. Creepshow, which comes with the book and a movie. Love Creepshow. And this is a great version. I know they got the new 4K, but I'll never get rid of this. This is great. Next is one of the crown jewels of my entire collection. The Nightbreed limited edition box, which came with the director's cut, the theatrical cut, and this book. Here's the back. I don't know if you could read that, but yeah, number 5072 of 10,000. This sold out very quickly. It's now on 4K, so the demand for this particular version has gone down because this was going for outrageous prices for a long time. But I got this when it came out for less than list price. I could not believe it. I picked this up for like $50. Brand new. And you'll bury me with that sucker. Okay, next we have the Omen collection. Contains the original trilogy, Omen, Damien, Final Conflict, Omen 4, and the horrible remake. There's the back. I love the back artwork of that. I'm not going to take all these movies out. You know what's in these. Next we have the Wreck collection with all 4 Wreck movies. I still haven't watched all these yet, so I've only seen the first 2. But again, I got this at a real decent price and said, sure, I'll take it. And last but not least, the best box set of all time. Look at that thing. It's a thing of beauty. Everybody knows this set. And of course, I've got this set. And there they are in all their glory. And again, this box set has been done to death online, so I'm not going to take it out. Everybody knows what's in it. But yeah, so that's it. That's my Scream Factory collection with slipcovers and box sets. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give me a like, and I hope to talk to you on the next one.